Okay, Assalamualaikum. So this is the second recording for chapter 5, which is compensation and benefits. So the previous slide we already talked about statutory benefits, which is compulsory benefits. So this one is for non-statutory benefits. The first one is time of payment. So there are marriage, birth of child, personal emergencies, pilgrimage is Haji, and continuing studies. Right, and the last one is death of relative. So you are going as a full-time worker, you are going to being given this non-statutory benefit. Non-statutory benefits maksudnya it's not compulsory for company to actually give you this cuti or leave. However, if let's say in your contract of employment, it's already stated that for non-statutory benefits, your employee will be given this, for example, marriage punya leave. So basically, dia dah jadi compulsory lah. As long as it is in contract of employment, means that benda yang non-statutory akan jadi statutory benefit if it is inside the contract of employment. Salah tak kalau company tak bagi? Since it is non-statutory benefit, it is not compulsory. So let's say your company decide not to give the leave for all these, it is not wrong lah ataupun it is legal. Legal means okay lah kan? Right? Kecuali kalau dia memang stated dia letak dalam contract of employment. So kena faham lah yang tu. Alright, okay. So first thing first, marriage. Marriage ni cuti untuk kahwin. So kalau company bagi di dalam contract of employment, they already stated that they akan give, for example, 3 days for marriage. So dia boleh, as a employee, they can actually claim for that. Usually in private sector tak ada, in government pun dia tak bagi marriage. You have to actually you have to apply for your own leave lah, guna annual leave, right? Birth of child, this is for father ya, paternity leave. For government servant dibagi 7 days. For other company like private sector, depends on the company. It can be between 3 to 7 days, depends ya. Ada company yang tak bagi pun, so tak salah kalau dia tak bagi, right? Personal emergencies, this is emergency leave whereby the situation is you have to go, like for example, you are suddenly being warded or your sons, your spouse being warded, and then you have to take leave. So you ambil cuti dulu, later on after you have you come back to your office, you are going to apply for emergency leave and dia akan deduct from your annual leave, right? You need to have what we call that SMC lah, medical certificate, certified by the doctor to prove that it is personal emergencies, right? So pilgrimage ni haji ya. Haji untuk government sector we are being given 14 days throughout our service. Untuk private sector depends on the company. Kita tak boleh bagi tahu company ni bagi berapa. You can actually find online company apa yang bagi, company apa yang tak bagilah. That one is for private. Because non-statutory benefits ni dia terpulang kepada the management itself. Studies, usually for government, if let's say you have scholarship and you can actually apply for study leave 1 year or 2 years. For company like a big company like Petronas, Shell, they actually provide this as well. Right? How many years depends on the year of study. Alright, okay. So death of a relative. For government sector, those who have like dia encounter death of relative, siapa yang di cover? Father, mother, father-in-law. This one baru ya. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, spouse, anak, sibling tak ya. Sibling tak termasuk. So basically father, mother-in-law ni baru lagi. I cannot remember which year, tapi dia barulah compared to yang the rest yang I bagi tahu tadi. Sibling tak termasuk ya. If let's say you want to go and you want to, of course you want to visit your sibling, right? So you have to ask for annual leave. Got it? Untuk private sector, that is where I told you that it depends on the private sector. So tak menjadi kesalahan kalau dia tak bagi, but usually dia terpulang kepada budi bicara lah, right? Okay. So death of relative, this one, dia akan kira if in government sector dia tak tolak cuti annual leave, right? Dia memang bagi 3 hari lah untuk khas untuk kalau ada kematian. Relatif sahaja dan relatif yang tertakluk kepada yang pihak tadilah. Right? So, kalau contoh macam yang lain-lain tu, kalau private sector, you boleh minta. However, you kena minta as a annual leave. Tolak daripada cuti tahunan you lah. Right. So, this is the continuity of non-statutory benefit. The second non-statutory benefit, which is not compulsory for a company to provide, we call it as healthcare. Healthcare maksudnya untuk kesihatan. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 types of healthcare here. Medical bills, alright. So this one, in government sector, we provide a general hospital. So usually kalau pergi general hospital, dia akan minta RM1 lah untuk pendaftaran. If you are a government servant or your family, your father, mother or your son actually work in government punya service lah. Right? For hospitalization as well. But for general hospital only. General hospital maksudnya hospital kerajaan lah. Optical and dental, government tak cover ya. But if let's say you are in private sector and you are actually working in a company, a huge company, like for example my friend, husband dia Petronas, they can actually cover all this. Medical they cover, hospital they cover, optical, dental pun they cover. As long as you are a worker in that particular company lah. But bear in mind, masa you worker, yes. However, bila you dah tak kerja, you tukar company or you dah habis lah kan. So that one, you are not going to be covered. So basically, kalau nak selamat, kena ada insurance sendirilah. Either you are government sector, you in government sector ataupun private sector, both you need to have your own insurance. Right, okay. So next is insurance. This one is other than SOCSO. Remember, SOCSO is a statutory benefit. SOCSO tu wajib ya. So this one is yang lain daripada SOCSO. So sometimes employer, they actually buy life and accident insurance. But this one is not compulsory. Tak wajib. Ada company yang buat. Right? So for government sector untuk insurance, we actually don't provide SOCSO sebab kita bukan private sector. But we are actually, kalau UiTM, kita panggil insurans kelompok lah. So that one is for government sector. For other government sector, insurance untuk diri sendiri, this one, usually this one is not compulsory. Cuma dia terpulang kepada the company itself. Private sector especially. Private sector yang wajib SOCSO, and then they can actually add up some insurance which is for life and accident insurance. Life and accident insurance doesn't mean that if let's say, contoh kalau SOCSO dia accident in workplace sahaja. Tapi insurans yang ini, they can actually cover kalau you accident dekat luar ke, natural death ke, ataupun you are actually being hospitalized. Itu beza dia. Yang SOCSO ni dia cuma cover untuk accident at workplace. Itu sahaja. Kalau kata you demam, you masuk hospital, hospitalized, dia tak cover. But certain company, they provide that. Like for example, tadi I kata Petronas kan. Ini pun dia bagi. As long as you are worker in that particular organisation. Alright, financial service. Financial service is like loans to buy houses, cars and other item lah. Computer, whatnot. For government sector, yes, the government servant is being provided financial help lah. Right, take for example, untuk buy houses, cars. Untuk buy houses, kita ada, bukan kita lah kan. If let's say you are a government servant, you can actually apply from government. Kalau you are not going to apply from any other financial institution like bank. But for private sector, usually they are not going to provide this sebab private sector they are required to apply from banks, right? Kalau contoh car, usually kita tak buat loan dengan government je. Kalau untuk car ni sebab lebih tinggi. For dia punya rate 4%. So usually even government servant pun dia akan go for other financial institution like bank. Sebab dia punya rate tu lebih rendah lah. Computers pun boleh. So this one is for government servant lah usually. Private sector, kalau ada mungkin I tak pernah dengar. You boleh carilah further. Sebab besar kan private sector ni. Okay, so the fifth one is retirement benefit. Right. For government servant, we have pension punya option. However, kalau private sector, they don't have pension. They have KWSP ataupun apa nama ni EPF. So basically, if let's say the company decide to give retirement benefit, dia boleh buat ya, dia boleh buat secara dia pergi dekat bank and dia kata dia nak buat pension plan untuk dia punya worker. So ini yang kita panggil sebagai retirement benefits. Okay. So dia kata kat situ employers willing to pay higher contribution to EPF on behalf of their employees. Boleh ya, dia boleh buat. Large organisation with special retirement fund. Ini yang special retirement ni. So, dia boleh bagi bukan sekadar EPF, dia boleh bagi juga kita panggil Special Retirement Fund as an extra. So, ini basically company itself lah apa yang dia management dia decide. Educational assistance. Educational assistance contoh scholarship. So, companies may set up libraries. Ini bukan scholarship lah, dia boleh in term of bagi duit, dia boleh dari segi facility. So, the first one is facility. Dia boleh ada library and reading materials and as well as dia akan bagi kemudahan like computer readable files. Okay, so dia boleh juga bayar fees if we wish to attend any training courses. Ini all these being provided by private sector. Scholarship yang ini private sector ada, government sector pun ada. Government sector like for example academic ataupun apa nama ni academic institution like macam university. They usually provide scholarship for further study. Kalau bukan kementerian pun ada. Kementerian pun dia provide scholarship untuk further study. So, kalau private sector, kan you pernah dengar tak? Scholarship by Maybank, scholarship bank usually they are going to provide scholarship. Bank, perbadanan is government. Company yang besar lah, macam Sundarbi, they have the fund to be given to their worker to further study and nanti dia akan balik-balik lah. Lepas belajar, dia akan balik kerja balik. So usually dia akan bagi like 2 or 3 years, depends on how many years of you punya program tadi, study program tadi. Right, okay. So this is the educational assistance. 7 is subsidies and services. Subsidies means pengurangan in term of dia punya fees. Services means they provide other facilities like ni, example banyak ni, canteen, transportation, childcare facilities. Childcare facilities dia boleh jadi dua. Satu, the facility itself. Satu, in term of dia punya subsidi. Means contoh ya, childcare katalah 300. Company subsidi you bayar 150. Yang ni dia boleh bagilah. Right? Club membership, quarters, ini government ada ya, quarters for the staff. Renting provide hostel yang female, ini usually macam factory worker lah. They are going to provide transportation as well as hostel. AirAsia, Malaysia Air offer free flight tickets. Ini company yang bagi. So, nowadays I'm not sure because of the problem, tapi boleh jadi inilah. Means that it's not compulsory ya, bukan wajib, tapi there are certain companies who provide this. Okay, so the next topic will be rewards. So what are incentive and rewards? Incentive and rewards are, dia boleh jadi dua, monetary dengan non-monetary. That being provided to their worker to increase their performance, as well as dia nak bagi reward because of, let's say this worker they perform well, dia akan bagi rewards. Dia akan tengok on performance appraisal, tajuk chapter 4 yang kita dah belajar before this. Right, so the purpose of giving rewards apa you? Drive behavior to higher levels. Macam you lah kan, jangan kata you lah adik you, bagi duit RM1 puasa, itu dipanggil kalau puasa dapat RM1. So rewards lah tu. So dia akan puasa. So that one we call it as drive behavior higher levels. Create competition between a worker and a first worker and second worker. you need to make sure that your worker is giving their best untuk apa dia punya performance. So you kena create competition lah. Those yang dapat tinggi akan dapat more in terms of sama ada rewards in terms of money ataupun rewards in terms of barang-barang. Itu kita akan tengok after this. Help to retain the best performer. Retain means maintain the best performer. Like for example, worker A, they have a very high performance. So dia kena bagi reward. If not, there will be a company which is outside company. They are going to be try to steal your good worker tadi. So in order to make sure that your rewards is effective, reward tu kena jadi macam mana? Allow as many employee to be winners. Jangan ambil seorang je. Bila seorang, tendency to get frustrated. Dia akan rasa, alah tak payahlah nak susah-susah. Dibagi pun kat seorang je, tak dapatnya. Right? Be perceived as fair. Fair means adil. So, tak ada macam kawan-kawan bagi dekat orang yang kenal, bagi orang yang dekat. So, tak bagus lah. Sepatutnya dia kena jadi fair lah. Alright, drive suitable behavior. Reward you ni akan buat orang tu lebih bagus. Itu sepatutnya. Be perceived as attractive. Your reward must be attractive. Take for example, if budak-budak bolehlah bagi RM1. Kalau pekerja, takkan you kata, okay, kalau siapa siap kerja cepat, bagi RM20. It's not that attractive. So you need to come up with very attractive scheme whereby your worker will be motivated enough to achieve that. Okay, so the first type of rewards is financial reward. Wage increment. Kenaikan gaji lah. So wage increment is usually annually. Annually means setahun dia akan naik lah wage dia. Increase due to their good performance. Okay, dia tak terus naik ya. Kita panggil, kita ada KPI, Key Performance Indicator. Kita ada SKT, sasaran kerja tahunan. In government, we call it as sasaran kerja tahunan lah. In private sector, we call it as Key Performance Indicator. So for government servant, kalau dia tak melebihi 80%, 80% tu tinggi lah. So kalau dia capai 80%, means that dia punya gaji tahun depan akan naik. Kalau private sector, they are very competitive, they are very strict. So most probably dia punya rate tadi lebih tinggi. So kena capai berapa baru gaji dia naik. Right? Okay. Bonus. So bonus it depends on the profitability of the company. Kalau yang government bagi, kita bagi bantuan 500 akhir tahun untuk bantuan untuk masuk sekolah, itu bukan bonus sebenarnya. Itu adalah bantuan. Usually kita akan guna perkataan bonus, but sebenarnya salah lah. Bonus is basically based on the profitability of the company. So let's say kalau private sector, dia ada profit, dia akan declare dia punya bonus. How many percent of their profitability tadi. Alright, so third is profit sharing scheme. Profit sharing scheme ni dia akan bagi share dekat employee dia. Dia akan bagi sedikit lah, bukan 50%. 50% dah jadi owner dah. So dia akan bagi based on share. Share tu saham. So percentage of share in the company. Commission is based on, like for example, salesperson, one particular product that being sold, they are going to be given 10%. So kalau harga produk tu 100, you akan dapat RM10 for each product. Itu commission. Alright. So this one is the second reward, which is non-financial rewards. Non-financial means dia bukan duit lah. It's other than monetary. So, performance award. Performance award is like, dia letak dekat wall. Best employee, worker of the month, most promising executive. So, tujuan dia untuk apa? Naikkan semangat, bangga kan? Letters of appreciation, dapat sijil, dapat surat. Dia akan bagi in term of writing. Dia akan bagi oral in public. Dia akan announce. Oral in public tu maksudnya announce. Or privately can be source of employee satisfaction. Dia akan rasa, alah, dipuji, semua orang suka kan, dipuji, happy kan. So happy, a happy worker will lead to high performance. Alright, so long service award, ini loyalty lah. Kalau dia dah kerja 20 tahun, 30 tahun, then the employer will give this award to those who are actually being in service for, kita panggil long service tadi. Dia akan bagi token of appreciation. Token dia tu macam-macam lah, barang lah, it's not duit. gold watch, gold bar, trip overseas, special dinner event. So apa-apa yang company boleh bagilah. Alright, so the fourth one, I believe this is the last one, will be the sponsorship to attend conference. So conference is more towards academic world, whereby conference ni mahal je kalau academician. Conference can be within 1,000 to 2,000. Tengok conference lah. So, kalau katalah company bagi hantar you pergi conference, so you dah jimat 1,000 or 2,000. So, it's very, orang kata, satisfying. Right. So, untuk other than that, other than conference, seminars, overseas tour. So, all these, they sponsor. So, kalau dia bagi benda ni pergi overseas, pergi jalan-jalan, makan angin, pergi seminar, right? So, basically, dia untuk improve dia punya motivation as well as to increase their performance. So, in this chapter, reward will be given to those who perform well. Those yang tak perform, dia akan bagi apa? Training. Right? Dia bukan pergi attend seminar conference ni, bukan you. Training yang khas untuk dia. Yang attend seminar ni, dia fun lagi. So, dia akan rasa seronok. Bukan pergi sekadar training. Seminar, conference ni benda yang dia nak pergi tengok, dia nak mingle around, dia boleh pergi jalan-jalan. Got it? Alright. So, I think that's all for chapter 5. So, to conclude, this chapter is about giving giving the salary, giving the right compensation. So you need to make sure that kalau you are a manager later on, you have to be fair to your worker and you have to ikut all the rules and regulation yang di-provide dalam you punya company lah, macam mana nak bagi compensation yang betul towards your worker. So that's about it. Thank you very much.